The idea that a company like Chevron should be celebrated through local music and should be advertised for and platformed via the local New Orleans music scene is insulting. The same forces that are invested in environmental degradation of communities on the Gulf Coast are invested in the destruction of the Palestinian people and their communities, and Chevron is at the center of it all. Chevron is a primary contributor to coastal erosion in the Gulf and is responsible for Louisiana's wetlands being destroyed at an alarming rate. Indigenous and historically black communities in southern Louisiana suffer from this environmental degradation the most. And Chevron and other large oil and gas companies have yet to face any accountability for what they've done and what they continue to do to our coast and the communities that reside there. Land and lives are lost and destroyed, and people are displaced for Chevron's profits in Louisiana and in Palestine. Since 2020, Chevron has been the primary international actor extracting fossil gas claimed by Israel in the Mediterranean. Chevron's extraction licenses and activities in the Mediterranean generate billions for Israel, its war chest that the Zionist entity continues to use right now to finance its genocide in Gaza. All of this has made Chevron a primary target of the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions Movement, or BDS. We must boycott Chevron! Get Chevron out of French Quarter Festival! In Palestine and on the Gulf Coast, Chevron is preventing indigenous communities from having self-determination over their land and over their natural resources. They're exploiting them through extraction and control over these resources. Colonizers and companies like Chevron fear Native people reclaiming their oil-rich, ocean-accessible lands that fossil fuel corporations have been controlling and ruining and profiting off of for nearly a century. And the exact same is true right now in Gaza. The Zionist entity wants all the oil that's off of Gaza's coast. They want to build soulless beachfront condos on top of the graveyard for children that they've created in the last 6 months of their genocide. The Zionists are already auctioning off property and making deals with oil companies to sell Gaza's oil, but their arrogance will not continue and it will be met with resistance. We cannot let them go unchallenged. They will not settle Gaza. We will fight them here in Louisiana and there. Simply put, Chevron devastates black and indigenous communities here in the Gulf, on the Gulf Coast, and funds ethnic cleansing in Palestine. They're destroying our environment and our futures here and there. So repeat after me. French Quarter Fest, let's make it clear. French Quarter Fest, let's make it clear. We don't want Chevron here. We don't want Chevron here. French Quarter Fest, let's make it clear. French Quarter Fest, let's make it clear. We don't want Chevron here. We don't want Chevron here. Chevron wants Gaza's oil. Gaza's oil. They bomb the people. Bomb the people. Poison the soil. Poison the soil. Chevron funds. Chevron funds. Israel's crimes. Israel's crimes. Genocide for oil. Genocide for oil. And it ain't the first time. And it ain't the first time. Get Chevron out of French Quarter Fest.